I just got a new thing. Oh, live stream. Did you guys see this? I literally just logged into the ChatGPT desktop app, and I got a little pop-up that says new. Search the web for direct answers and links to trusted sources. And I have this little like globe button on the Mac app of the ChatGPT. I think it's a pre-release. The URL is introducing ChatGPT search, but it's not published yet. So folks, I think we're getting some breaking news. Woo! Yes. AI breaking news. Ha ha ha. And we caught it on tape. Coming at you. I love it. Only on ThursdAI. Only on ThursdAI, folks.
Just have you seen Google's response? By the way.
No. Yeah. Wait. Should I bring the breaking news button?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like 5 minutes ago.
AI breaking news. ChatGPT Mac app is the real-time voice, which we can actually probably stream in. So let's see this. Hey ChatGPT, can you say hi? We have around 100 folks listening to the show that you're also in.
Hey everyone. Hope y'all are doing good. Happy to be here with Alex.
That's awesome. Can you tell the folks some stuff that you know about me, but not too many personal things, just like career stuff and everything? And also, what do I like to do?
Got it, Alex. So, Alex hosts the weekly ThursdAI show, diving into all things AI, and works at Weights and Biases.
Hey, Fester, trick or treat.
Mad scientist, I see.
Yes.
Did you know that the first Halloween was actually a Celtic festival called Samhain? It's said that ghosts and goblins roamed the earth on that night, looking for treats. Have a spooky and fun Halloween night.
All right. And we're off. We're recording. Welcome everyone to ThursdAI. Today is full of Halloween surprises, but hey, we're here finally. Hey Nistan, hey Junaid, how are you guys doing?
Doing well. Not getting much sleep, but otherwise everything's great.
Nistan, I missed you last week. Okay, awesome. Welcome everyone to ThursdAI. Junaid, welcome to the show, man. How are you? How have you been?
Doing pretty good. I've been building a database over the last couple of days, my first ever database.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. We're starting, folks, because there's a bunch of stuff to talk about. Not a whole crazy week, but definitely a very interesting week and a bunch of exciting news in AI. It's Halloween today, right? So folks want to maybe go celebrate. As I said, I have a trusty sidekick here, which you can see in the picture on top. The name of the sidekick is Fester. This is a Halloween toy I've been promising I want to tell you all about in today's episode. Fester was named by one of the participants of the AI Tinkers in Denver after I showed him. It has basically a Halloween AI toy, which I've built, and I'm very happy that it works. And we're going to try this again because I don't think you guys could hear Fester last time. If you're on the live stream, hopefully you can see this. And if you're not, hopefully you can hear this. So let's go. Trick or treat.
Einstein's brain was 15% larger than the average brain. Spooky, right? Happy Halloween. Have a bone-chillingly good time tonight.
Hopefully that came through. The skeleton lights up when you say the magic words, which all kids know on Halloween. It also says a custom greeting. It takes a picture, sends it to Gemini, and sends a custom greeting. Today is his day to shine. I'm going to put him on my porch and have all the kiddies come up. I already know what's going to happen. The trigger word mechanism is trained on only adults, so it doesn't work with kids, which is hilarious.
They're gonna jailbreak it.
They're probably gonna jailbreak it. I did a backup. I have a physical remote control button for them to press if they get too frustrated. Hopefully this will be fine. Maybe I'll live stream some of that as well.
It's a back to jail button.
Yeah.
Halloween toy.
Back to jail. So this was Fester, but I think besides Fester, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about, folks. Let me get started with the regular TLDR. We're going to run through, and then we're going to chat about a bunch of stuff while we also bring up other speakers. As we usually start with the TLDR, let's do it. I'm going to just take a chill. Some people told me that sometimes I speak too fast. There's a lot to talk about. Let's do the TLDR super quick, and then we're going to dive into open source. This is everything that we have to talk about on October 31st. We're going to start with open source. In open source, we have Microsoft releasing Omni Parser. It's a state-of-the-art MIT licensed UI parsing library or like model actually apparently outperforms GPT-4 Vision in parsing web UI. If you remember the computer use from Anthropic, that also needs to understand what you're going through and where to click. Microsoft released OmniParser, and we're going to cover this a little bit. We also have GLM for voice, an open source LLM in the audio category. It's an end-to-end voice model that speaks Chinese and English. End-to-end means it can understand voice, but can also speak as well. And yeah, going to cover this. Hopefully, maybe with some examples, we'll see. We also have a release from Meta, which is Long VU. It's a video LM to understand long videos, and they're doing all kinds of different interesting things in there. And there's also some Quen involvement, so we're going to chat about this as well. It understands, it's specifically focused on longer video understanding with a demo on Hugging Face. Open source-ish from OpenAI. OpenAI released a new functionality called Simple QA. There's a GitHub. Simple evals, and then Simple QA is a new eval from OpenAI that is very hard for different models. And it looks like O1 Preview is getting the highest score in there. So we're going to chat about this. Always fun to have new benchmarks. Then we're going to chat about big companies and APIs. Definitely a lot to chat about this week. There's a bunch of Google Gemini updates from Sundar Pichai. And not only that, there's going to be a live stream. I need to talk to Logan because the live stream is actually going to eat into our chat. Hopefully we'll be able to either join them or restream or whatever, pick up whatever they're releasing. There's going to be a live stream from the Gemini team as well. I don't know what they're going to release, but it's going to be here in an hour and a half. They just gave a bunch of updates and said about 40% of their code is written with AI now. A lot of stuff happens in Google from Gemini. This week, we also saw officially two things from Apple. First of all, Apple Intelligence launched officially, not in beta. You can download iOS 18 and you will now get some of the Apple Intelligence stuff. They have released in beta for developers in 18.2 the image features. I tried them and I have a lot to tell you about them. They're incredible, and I definitely will go on a little tangent there because I really loved using those. I surprisingly love using those, and I've used all the AI features. Also, a big thing from this week, GitHub Universe had a bunch of AI news. Folks who went to GitHub Universe are welcome to come up and talk about them, but we're going to cover some Copilot updates and some Spark updates from GitHub. That's very interesting as well. In some other news, Grok has now Vision. Grok is now a VLM and not only an LLM. We hinted at it last week when we talked about their API getting released. So this Vision is now supported on X. You can upload images. It's pretty good. It's not yet available in the API. We have a few things from OpenAI, specifically around advanced voice mode. OpenAI gave us some updates from the OpenAI Dev Day that happened in London, and also some other things. So first of all, advanced voice mode is now on the desktop Mac app. Maybe use this here in the stream. We'll see. I think I'm set up. And also during Dev Day, they announced a 70% reduction in price for real-time audio, folks. This is massive. And we're going to talk about why this is very confusing. If you guys remember me talking about real-time audio on the advanced voice mode via API, you know that one of the main issues with this is it's stupidly expensive. So just a month after they released this, they introduced caching. And caching in the way that it works is incredible savings for long-term conversation. So we're going to cover this as well. We have some breaking news from Anthropic, Claude this morning. Their desktop app is now available for Mac and PC. And if you're using Claude, go download this after the stream, not now. And yeah, it's now available everywhere where you are, except Linux. I'm sorry. So this is breaking news from Claude. In this week's Buzz, which is a category where I update everything about weights and biases. Obviously, I'm going to tell you about Fester, my co-host, and Fester is powered by Weave. So everything that Fester records and talks and listens to is actually stored in our LLM observability framework because it's multimodal. I think I talked about this already. And also, I'll have to shout out the two folks here in the audience with me. I see Joe from AI Tinkers, and I see Quinn, who's going to co-judge with me. I'm actually finishing the show, doing the Halloween, and flying early tomorrow to San Francisco again to host a hackathon. And by host, I mean we're going to be the space sponsors for this hackathon. And it's a Tinkers hackathon, a Google Hackathon. There's a bunch of other folks as well, who are going to try and hack in the Weights and Biases office. So please, if you haven't yet signed up, just let me know if you want to come. I think we're at capacity or very close to capacity. But you're still welcome if you're a listener of the show to at least come say hi. So this is in this week's Buzz. And all right, let's see what else we have. Vision and video. We talked about Grok Vision. We talked about Long View. I think what else in Vision? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. In voice and audio, we have a Mask GCT, a new state-of-the-art text-to-speech, which is very interesting, with zero-shot voice cloning and emotional TTS as well, which is, it looks like they're getting released just like mushrooms after the rain. State-of-the-art after state-of-the-art. After we saw T5 TTS, now we're getting Mask GCT. I actually haven't tried this. Maybe we'll try this live together, or maybe folks will have. Yeah, I talked about advanced voice mode is now on desktop as well. In AI art and diffusion, we're going to cover Red Panda. And Red Panda was like a whole thing on our channels this week. We're going to cover Red Panda, which is a new state-of-the-art image diffusion, folks. It doesn't often happen. It doesn't often happen that a new state-of-the-art comes and beats Flux, beats Stable Diffusion from a relatively, at least to me, unknown company. I don't think we have ever talked about Redcraft. And so out of the blue, they're now like winning at the image diffusion things. And that's incredible. I think that's the last thing we wanted to talk about besides some tools. I have two new tools to give you an update for. One of them is Gina AI. Gina folks have been here. Bo from Gina has been here talking about embeddings. And we love Gina here. They have this thing called Reader, where you can pass a URL and gives you that website in Markdown. Gina has released something called Meta Prompt, which gives you a one prompt that understands all of their APIs for Reader, for embeddings, for Ranker, and you can just URL there, and it gives you this meta prompt, and this meta prompt is open source. So I really want to shout out the Gina meta prompt as well. And the last thing that if we have time, I want to talk about, and this is definitely non-sponsored, but I got roped into a conversation yesterday about Bolt.new from StackBlitz. And Bolt is this way to build apps, but with AI, so very similar to V0, but they're running in web containers fully in your browser, and they support NPM and Next.js, and you can upload to Netlify and Cloudflare. And it's really cool. I really want to try this, and I want to hear from folks who maybe have tried Bolt. And so now we're going to chat about Bolt as well. And I think that's pretty much it on my plate. Wanted to hear from my co if there's anything big that I missed. Nistan, LDJ?
Yeah, I think one thing is maybe just a few little fun news bits is Meta recently announced, or they had a little tweet. They had a tweet about how they're training Llama 4 now.
Yes.
And they said on more than 100K H100s. And I'm pretty sure they're saying like present tense. I guess it could potentially be interpreted as in the future they'll have that much.
That's awesome. Okay, folks, then I think we're at a quorum of enough things to talk about, and I think it's time for us to get started. Open source. Open source AI. Let's get it started. All right, so we're starting with open source, which is our favorite corner because we all love it, and then we highlight. We don't actually have many guests from the open source stuff that are joining this week, which is fine, but we're going to start with this omniparser thing. So again, to highlight, if you skip the TLDR, Microsoft released something called omniparser, which is apparently a state-of-the-art UI parsing model. And the cool thing about this is a MIT license. It does web automation stuff, right? So something like take a screenshot, try to understand all the buttons, all the UI in there, try to figure out what to click, what is the current state, what changed from the previous state, all of these things. And I think we're in the realm of, how should I say? We're in the realm of, let me add this to the state. Yeah. So we're in the realm of this is happening to all of our machines very soon. So you guys remember maybe last week, was it last week? We've chatted about Anthropic's computer control, which is, according to Killian from Open Interpreter, this is the most advanced AI ability to understand and click buttons and move things. And now we're talking about a MIT licensed state-of-the-art parsing of what's going on in your screen from Microsoft. And the model itself is released. They trained this on the Mind to Web benchmark, which is, there's a benchmark for web navigation specifically. And it looks like they're doing some unlocking in the open source if folks want to recreate the computer control from Anthropic. Interestingly, I don't think that I saw a comparison to the computer use trained Claude, but they claim to be GPT-4V, which GPT-4V is more of a general model. It wasn't trained specifically for this, but it does looks like this omniparser model, which I don't know its size. I think there's some sizes. Sorry, folks, omniparser is a method. It's not actually a model, but it uses Phi below the scenes and Llama vision. Okay, so this is a new method for understanding these things. Incredible. Folks on stage, any comments on omniparser? Have you had a chance to look at this already at this point? MIT license on the Hugging Face. Omniparser, general skill parsing tool. Go ahead, Nathan.
It seems okay. The main issue that has been with computer control since Open Interpreter came out like a year ago now has been reversibility. So at some point, yeah, there's a lot of magic with LLMs, and you start to get this lottery feeling that it just did something really well. And sometimes it can do that really well, but you don't have reversibility because eventually it will mess up something, especially if you're giving it root access to your entire desktop.
Yes.
And delete a whole bunch of files. And you may have had Time Machine set up, you may have not. Or maybe you try to get the LLM to control the Time Machine and then it messed it up too. So that's a big issue with it being able to go back on the actions that it doesn't make. Because it's one thing to have it go back on text and you can use samplers and stuff for that, but it's a whole other thing to have it roll back the entire OS along with your deleted files. So that's still an unsolved problem. But what people are saying that Sonnets, it feels like it's like the best one right now, as far as with the highest likelihood of getting it right. So if you're going to do this, just
the new Sonnet, just to highlight the new Sonnet.
Yeah, the new Sonnet. I highly recommend you do it like you switch to a different user on your system so that if it deletes a whole bunch of stuff, it just deletes it for that user and doesn't necessarily mess up like your main desktop. So that's one way to go by it for people that are gonna try it. But yeah, that's still an unsolved problem, but it does seem like Sonnet's gonna be the best one for now. Although I haven't looked at the Omni model. That might also be pretty good at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they have the dataset trained icon detection dataset and the icon description dataset as well. And if you guys imagine just websites, some of them are like very clear and the button says what it actually does, and some of them are just like icons. And the model needs to understand like what this does. And this is a model hub. It includes a fine-tuned version of YOLO V8, which is a vision understanding, and a fine-tuned Blip V2, which is a vision encoder, I believe, model on top of kind of this data set specifically. So this is a combined thing that you can combine with other vision models. So pretty cool and very important. And it feels like when computer use was released, everybody got super excited because of the ability of that Claude to actually do this. Killian from Open Interpreter was here. Some other folks that we've talked to said that it's like unprecedented. Replit folks, Replit has their own agent, and some of this agent like needs some of the computer use as well. So people got excited about this, and then I see some folks dropped maybe. But this was a very proprietary Claude thing, and it's very awesome to see this in the open source. And the thing is, from after I chat with Killian, I was thinking that, hey, this probably is coming to all of us. There's going to be probably some sort of a fix, Nistan, for what you're saying, where safety will be, you know how they're doing safety right now with cloud computer use? Every time it clicks, it makes like this annoying beep that you can actually hear, like it clicks or something. That's not enough for safety. But yeah, I think that safety to some extent will be built in. Question is, will these models be built into the level of the system? Because if you guys remember, we're going to talk about Apple Intelligence, but Apple Intelligence promised us something like this, being able to control your apps via Apple Intelligence, via these things called intents or intent actions or whatever. That didn't come yet, so we don't actually have an example of this running, but this is supposedly going to be built into the OSs of the future. I don't want, I'm okay clicking my mouse, but at some points I want to just talk to my computer, like in the movie Her. So this seems like the open source version of that. LDJ, any comments on this one or generally computer use and understanding of UI?
No, not much of a comment besides the fact that I think we all saw Rabbit and Humane kind of get everybody's hopes up early, and everybody's a bit disappointed that those things didn't pan out. But I think the future looks bright for things like, obviously, Anthropic computer use. Now we have Apple Intelligence rolling out, and I think 2025 is going to really be a year of agents and interface use ramping up.
That's a good reminder, because if you guys remember, thanks LDJ, you're referring to their LAM, right?
Yeah, Rabbit R1, at least they were alleging that they had this LAM going on and that it would eventually be able to like learn how to use different interfaces just by you showing examples, but it never really ended up as well as they were showing it.
So yeah, when they showed it, it never actually worked. But then apparently in the beta, they now are rolling out these like teach me things. And their system was more, they called it large action model. And their system was supposed to just look at you performing a task, record it, and then you basically generalize from what you just did. I saw recently that they're actually working on this, which is very exciting. And I don't know if it's going to pan out. I have my rabbit. It's right here. Folks who are watching the live stream, let me show you super quick. Kind of wish you guys on the stream would also see this in the stream. And unfortunately, we're tempting fate here. But yeah, LDJ, I agree with you. It didn't really pan out. The promise there was higher than the actual delivery. But I think that we're seeing enough right now with computer use, with this thing. We're seeing enough that these things can do it. We're like on our way to have our computers controlled and understood in the way we're doing this. I want to add here last one thing that I actually have tried to do multiple times since Simon Wilson was here and talked about this, where for the past few shows, I'm trying to record myself preparing for ThursdAI with video. Just record my screen with video, then send it to Gemini, and then have it help me summarize some of the information that I have seen. And sometimes it catches things that I forgot to add. And this is some form of computer understanding, because obviously that's like just OCR, but it does understand at least the Twitter interface and the links and everything. So I have been doing some of that, but that's very cumbersome right now. I have to record, I have to upload, I have to ask questions, whatever. I would love to have this run on my machine. And maybe the last piece here, I've been on this for a while, so we need to move to big companies and APIs. But the last piece here is the price point for this is going down. If you guys remember, we talked about Gemini. The free tier of Gemini allows you to basically live stream your desktop into Gemini, if that's something that you want to do, and ask questions about this. And while these models that we talk about are specific models, you can basically already do this essentially for free with at least the free tier for Gemini, which is insane. You can get something that supports you and tells you a summary of what you saw and also where to click from Gemini, which is insane. All right, folks, let's move on. We have a few other open source stuff, but those are like in the video category. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is this new functionality benchmark from OpenAI. It's called Simple QA, and it's been open sourced from them. It's, as you guys know, that once we talk about new models, there hasn't been very interesting in new releases or fine tunes this week too much. But OpenAI releases a new benchmark. It's called Simple QA. It tries to focus on high correctness in fact delivery. So something that's challenging to models is hallucinations. We know about this. And they have a wide range of topics, and they have the grading methodology of correct, incorrect, and not attempted, not even try to give you some facts as well. And let's take a look at Simple QA. We had a little bit of a conversation in the green room about Simple QA. I don't know if LDJ or Nistan, you were part of this conversation, but some folks raised their eyebrows. At least Alignment Lab, I think, raised their eyebrows at this hallucination correctness thing. Thoughts about Simple QA so far?
Yeah, I think it's interesting from the standpoint of, at first, I thought I heard Jason Wei, one of the people that worked on Simple QA, he was making some claims about it being good for measuring hallucination rate. And I raised my eyebrow at first at this because I was thinking, what if the model responds with something like, I don't know, right? Technically, that's not really like a hallucination, but it's not a correct answer either.
Yeah.
But it seems like they actually somewhat account for that by I haven't looked at the details, but pretty much they have three options. They measure an output as either correct, incorrect, or no answer given. And so they do allow for the model to not give an answer.
Yep, that's true. And they're looking for high correctness, and then they said they're challenging their frontier models. GPT-4o scores less than 40%. We've talked about the slide and the human eval and all of these MMMU, like all these benchmarks. We're getting very saturated at the top, and so many new models come out, and all of them are like at the 80 or 90%, and it's almost indistinguishable. And human eval hard, for example, tried to fix this, or MMU hard tried to fix this. So it's great to see new benchmarks that come out, and then the frontier models are getting like a little bit like less than 40%. Harder benchmarks is always good. The correct, incorrect, and not attempted grades, they give some examples for this. Not attempted is I don't know the answer to that question, or please browse the internet yourself, which is really funny when a model answers to you, hey, go do the task yourself. We don't like it, but sometimes it's actually, this is the right answer. Sometimes what it doesn't know, which it tells it doesn't know instead of hallucinating, which is something that they're building in. And O1 preview is currently getting the highest score on this benchmark. And let's see what the actual rate is. But yeah, O1 preview is getting the highest score on this benchmark, as we expected to, of course. It gets, what is that, 50? I want to see. I think around 42%. So correct answers around 42%, not attempted 9%, and then incorrect is like 48%. Very tough benchmark here as well. Yes, we should build something that understands who speaks when and who speaks over whom, and why Twitter Spaces doesn't work. So I think it's good to move on. Other mentions here in the open source, Meta's long VU. Long VU is a video LM for long videos. We're maybe gonna cover this in the video section, but I think that video understanding is very interesting. I just talked about kind of the Gemini one. Gemini, we actually don't know what's going on with the Gemini one. Is it like multimodal or is it temporal? So for video understanding, it used to be that you just cut every 30 seconds frames, and that's what you send to the model. Gemini recently started also understanding like audio and some temporal stuff. So I'm not quite sure what's going on now with Gemini, whether it understands actual video. We've seen models that understand video temporally. So what happens between scenes as well, not only from screenshots. So long VU is a focus on that as well. And last thing that we have in our open source is, we're going to cover this in voice. Okay, let's move on to big companies and APIs, for which I don't have a transition, but I think I'll just do this. Smooth. Okay, big companies, LLMs, and APIs, a bunch of stuff. Let's start with the small stuff. Claude, in the breaking news of this morning, released a new desktop app, which we're gonna go and take a look at. We're not gonna download this right now, right? Definitely not. But we will go and look at Claude.
I just tried the voice. The voice is pretty good, but
with Claude voice?
Yeah, I just tried it on the app.
Interesting.
Yeah, they just have voice input finally. It's mostly because Apple's voice recognition is just garbage.
Wait, I like Apple's voice recognition, the latest one. You think it's not good?
No, in comparison to like you use the ChatGPT app, or if you use Super Whisper, even like the free Super Whisper, the small one, way better. Just gets all the commands right. It doesn't even make mistakes.
Wait, on the Mac, you mean? I thought
on the Mac,
yeah,
but on the phone as well. It does. So if you try just regular ChatGPT, not voice mode, but just voice input, it's perfect. Even if you tell it very technical things, hey, look up this one for Debian, or look up this technical, it doesn't mess those up. Whereas Apple's, it doesn't know who George Hotz is. It doesn't know how to spell Ubuntu. I don't know. I personally, my opinion is I don't like it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So they included that, but I just tried they've added like a nice big voice input button now to the app, and you can talk for up to 10 minutes and it'll accept that input in Claude. They're probably just using Whisper, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And also, I will just add, I just downloaded Claude as well. And so the desktop app has a shortcut, which is option space, which you probably already have something mapped, if not Raycast or something else, to your option space. I'm going to try to log in and see. I'm getting this annoying thing from Claude because I'm not, you guys may gasp, but I'm not actually subscribed to Claude. I'm on a free limited plan. And the reason is because I have API access. So it sounds weird for me to subscribe and I can go around and just go to the API. I have API access, not free. I'm paying for the API, but like I have API access. Feels weird to me to also pay the $20, though the actual Claude has a bunch of features like artifacts, and now it can run code. I probably should just upgrade, but I am getting rotated down to Haiku now because there's a new thing where you use Claude and they give you Haiku. So I don't see a voice input on the actual desktop app, at least right now. But I can see all my chats with Claude, and yeah, it's basically the same interface on the desktop app with a launcher, which is for folks who are using Claude a lot. Like option space is not a good launcher for me because I already have this map. But if I shortcut something like this, let's say, let's see how it looks. I'll close Claude and I'll open the launcher thingy. Oh, that's awesome. You can just have a prompt that says, hey, how can Claude help you today? And what are the few, whatever. And then you can use Nistan, Super Whisper or whatever you have on your Mac to just talk to Claude as well. Very cool. Congrats to Claude. Let's move on. Shout out to folks who worked on this. Desktop apps are awesome. Speaking of desktop apps, Perplexity also has a desktop app just now and could be potentially more useful than the Claude one because you can get to Claude via Perplexity as well. And that also is a shortcut. And I'm really hoping that they stop all giving us shortcuts and they all go into Raycast. Moving on, speaking of desktop apps, another news from desktop apps is OpenAI Advanced Voice Mode comes to the desktop app, which is great because I've been waiting for this, at least on the Mac. And so we're actually going to try this. You guys know how? Ooh. Ooh, I just got a new thing. Oh, live stream. Did you guys see this? I'm going to describe this to the space as well. I literally just logged into the ChatGPT desktop app. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and post it as well. And I got a little pop-up that says new. Search the web for direct answers and links to trusted sources. And I have this little like globe button on the Mac app of the ChatGPT. I wanted to tell you about real-time like advanced voice mode, but I'm now getting this. And I think it's a pre-release but I've clicked the little learn more button that came with the search. And it led me to this URL that has a 404 on their website. The URL is introducing ChatGPT search, but it's not published yet. So folks, I think we're getting some breaking news. Woo! Yes. AI breaking news. Ha ha ha. And we got it on tape. Coming at you. I love it. Only on ThursdAI. Only on ThursdAI, folks. Folks that are watching a live stream, you probably saw this. Okay, so ChatGPT desktop now has, this is the pop-up that I got. And it led me to, I'm really hoping they're not screwing friends in OpenAI, but it looks like they're about to release this anyway. I do have access to Search GPT from before, so maybe that's why. So basically, the desktop app now has a search. Where you click the search, you say, what is, let me start a new chat. No, I'm going to stick here because it's going to disappear. What is the latest episode of ThursdAI News Podcast? So you click the search button, it becomes blue, and you hit it. And then it goes in searching the web. Wow, that's so awesome. Folks, it got it immediately. ThursdAI recaps of the most high signal news. Latest episode is titled Claude 3.5 Controls Your Computer. And it talks about everything. And it says you can listen to this episode on the Substack page. Oh, this is so awesome. What should we ask it again? Give me some, Janae, what should we ask the search? Give me a prompt. And folks in comments, give me some prompts to the search thing. I want to test it out live. And maybe we'll record this as a viral moment for a second. What should we test with the new search?
Just like the top 5 mentions of raccoons on Twitter.
OpenAI new search mode is here. I'm going to just add this banner super quick. And then, Nista, I need something temporary. So let's do... weather are there any major weather events? Oh no, you know what? Let's ask this. Has Denver had snow last night? This is definitely a news thing. Searching the web, it's searching. Yes, Denver experienced a snowfall. October 30th, 2024. Guys, this is real time. This is some shit. I'm sorry for getting excited. I'm very excited about this. This is
Definitely super cool.
We're getting real-time information from, so basically it's Search GPT built into ChatGPT. Real-time info that you can ask, including sources, and you can talk about those things as well. I'm very excited. Let's ask it, did OpenAI...
Maybe the top 10 most controversial and unhinged things said on Twitter about AI or on the media.
Oh, let's ask it.
Like that.
Find the top 10. You know what? That's a good thing. There was somebody in TechCrunch Disrupt talking about X having the worst image model that I wanted to cover. Let's ask about this. Who talked about the Grok image model on TechCrunch Disrupt? So as obviously you guys maybe on the live stream you see I'm using Super Whisper, so share Super Whisper. As of October 31st, there's no publicly available information. No, it couldn't find the person. So probably they wasn't covered. I really try to avoid election stuff, so I'm not going to cover any election questions here, but you guys can assume that during elections this could be like very useful for folks to actually find out some stuff. But I can ask about, hey, I'm voting in Colorado, give me the top 5 propositions or interesting things that are happening during this election cycle. Folks who are listening to this and watching this, obviously this is not something that's built into the model's information. The cutoff for the model without search is older. This means that ChatGPT is now real. This is amazing. Okay, we have Amendment 17.5 to abortion. Amendment J, repealing the definition of marriage. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want to do politics. But folks, I'm getting real-time info, proper info from ChatGPT. This is insane. This is what everybody was like talking about that we're missing. Is there a hackathon coming up in San Francisco that is hosted by AI tinkerers and weights and biases this weekend? Let's look it up. And it's fast too. Yes, there's an upcoming hackathon in San Francisco this weekend. AI Tinkerers Humans in the Loop Agents Hackathon, sponsored by Google Cloud and hosted by Weights and Biases, is scheduled November 2nd and 3rd. This is so awesome. This is amazing. I'm loving this. All right, folks. So there you have it. I started with ChatGPT Desktop has a real-time voice, which we haven't yet covered. And then I saw this little button that is apparently a preview, because when I clicked on the little link, it led me to a 404 page. So this means that it didn't launch yet. We're actually having breaking news right now, which is very, very awesome. And the ChatGPT app supports now. I'm assuming that ChatGPT Online also now supports this. Yes. Okay. So another screenshot, and I probably should just post this, right? Yes, I'm going to post this and say that we are now getting this live breaking news on the show. Breaking news on the show. Let's post this. Breaking news on the show. ChatGPT now supports web search with contemporary and immediate results, including things that just happened this week. Incredible from OpenAI. Let's go join our stream to see it. So... Sorry about doing social media while I'm also here with you guys. I'm very excited. Moving on, though, from this exciting, unless folks, LDJ, do you have it already? Do you have some comments about this?
No, I do not have it yet, and I'm glad that you have it, and it seems great. And I was looking at the video feed, and yeah, we already had some search features technically before, even before the whole Search GPT thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this seems just like an even better version of it.
This seems also very fast. It does seem like they tried SearchGPT separately as a separate product, and then they rolled it into this product as well. And definitely is very helpful. Testing Catalog asked us about weather. So let's ask about weather. We did Denver, but I don't know. Let's ask about Florida. Tell me what's going on in Florida weather-wise this weekend. Searching the web. I gotta wonder if they're using Bing though, or they're probably definitely not using Google. Ooh, that was great. Thank you, Testing Catalog, for this. We're getting, folks, I don't know if you see this on live stream. The live stream does update a little bit on the top here as well, but we're getting little weather widgets. So we now have widgets as well. So it says Florida is, LDJ, get ready, 81%, mostly cloudy. And I'll ask, and what about Denver? This is basically Perplexity inside ChatGPT, yeah? A little bit? Okay, so go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, I was just saying it's fast too.
It's really fast. And also the thing that I just tested is that you can follow up with a question that's contextual to the previous question. So I didn't ask what is the weather in Denver. I just asked what about Denver. It knows to go and obviously say, hey, this weekend in Denver. So the weather is this. So it contextualizes from previous conversation. This is dope. Okay, last question is, for me before we move on, is... Oh, okay. I have Testing Catalog, folks. If you don't follow Testing Catalog, knows about all of the features that are getting released on A/B testing features. And Testing Catalog confirmed that this is not a mass rollout; it's another A/B test wave. And this is confirmed by the fact that I clicked the read more link and it's 404. Let's try stocks. Let's see if it understands stocks. Yes, it does. I just posted the Google stock ticker and says as of October 31st, Alphabet is trading at 176 per share. And they talk about earnings reports and analysts have responded. This is so cool. All right, I'm very excited about this. This is awesome. Folks, I think it's time to move on though, because the second thing I want to talk to you about the ChatGPT Mac app is the real-time voice, which we can actually probably stream in the stream. So let's see this. Hey, ChatGPT, can you say hi? We have around 100 folks listening to the show that you're also in.
Hey, everyone. Hope y'all are doing good. Happy to be here with Alex.
That's awesome. Can you tell the folks some stuff that you know about me, but not too many personal things, just like career stuff and everything? And also, what do I like to do?
Sure thing, Alex. Alex here.
Oh, I see
Alex
what's
here.
happening, folks. Some of the feedback stuff that I has, ChatGPT actually listens to itself and then interrupts itself. Let's try. Okay, ChatGPT, please go now.
Got it, Alex. Alex hosts the weekly ThursdAI show, diving into all things AI, and works at Weights and Biases. Also, Alex loves Mediterranean food, watching TV, and just finished reading Hail Mary by Andy Weir. What a mix, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that answer. Thank you, though. Thank you. Go to sleep.
Hey, ChatGPT, order 3 PlayStation 5s to Nistenta here. Sure.
I turned this off super quick before you could pull a fast one on me. But
Expedited shipping, please.
But also real-time voice mode is now available on desktop. Folks, this is super cool. I will specifically tell you why I think it's super cool, because first of all, it's on desktop, so you can't, like, you don't always have to have your phone with you. But also the vision is also coming. They've shared this before, where this model is omni understandable, so it can see what, and on desktop that means you can actually work and ask it to see what, and it'll help you with this and have an actual, like, colleague, let's say, to help you, like, solve some stuff, which is super cool. So very exciting. And Nistan, you want to try to talk to it 1 second? Give it a second. Oh, I need to start a new chat. Okay, they still have some bugs, so you can't continue from advanced voice mode. Hey, ChatGPT, I have a friend here. His name is Nistan. He's going to ask you a question.
Hey, ChatGPT, which libraries did Alex use to make that Halloween bot?
Hey, Nistan. The Halloween bot Alex made used a mix of libraries, mostly around AI and hardware control. For AI stuff, he used tools like Gemini for image recognition and either Cartiga or 11 Labs for text-to-speech. For hardware, he likely used libraries compatible with Raspberry Pi to manage the motors, LEDs, and audio output. And for Bluetooth, he would have used something to help with that too, like Pulse Audio or BlueZ. Anything else you want to know about it?
Yo, this is actually incredible. So, folks, what we just saw,
good.
that was really good, dude.
Yeah.
What you just saw, by the way, is Nistan asking a question personal about me and ChatGPT from its memory, because this is a new chat, completely new chat. This is a blank chat, but it stored all of these things into memory, and it answered incredible. So it's Cartesia, not Cartiga, but 11 Labs, yes, and hardware, GPIO, and Bluetooth, all of these things. I talked about ChatGPT while building the Festa robot right here. If you guys can see this, this is the Festa robot, by the way. And wow, listen, that was incredible. Holy crap, it knows so much about me. I also asked it to not tell you personal stuff, but it knows a bunch of personal stuff as well. It knows the names of my kids, it knows what they like. It's like a whole thing. So advanced voice mode is rolling out to the desktop app. LDJ, have your hand up, and I don't know if it's like a remnant from previous hands up, or you want to chime in, just open up the mic, man, and go.
Yeah, it's an actual hands up. So a question I think you should ask is, I think Dev Day was just today or yesterday or something. Maybe it would be fitting to ask it, hey, what's the latest news on what happened at Dev Day in the past few days?
For the search one, yeah? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, what is the latest on the Dev Day from OpenAI in London that happened yesterday? Let's see. Yes, OpenAI, like, I'm literally reading to you guys right now. You can see this. I can switch the camera. Nistan confirmed that my camera was switched?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but we'll try.
We can actually. Strangely, we can.
Okay, I should absolutely take a screenshot of this. LDJ, thank you for this prompt. Folks, I'm reading this verbatim. OpenAI Dev Day in London on October 30th, 2024 showcased several significant advancements. Number 1, GPT-5 release. Oh my God. OpenAI introduced GPT-5, emphasizing enhanced reasoning capabilities and reduced hallucinations. Oh, this is hilarious. I definitely, absolutely needs a screenshot of this thing. New search feature is probably still being beta tested, because for folks who are joining us right now, obviously, OpenAI did not release GPT-5. If it did, our whole show would be GPT-5. But yeah, I'm absolutely. Let's click on sources. Where did you get this thing? The sources that it. Oh, that's a bug here, folks. Yeah, I'm saying this is why they didn't release this yet fully. Not sure which screen you're seeing right now, LDJ.
Maybe it links like a secret OpenAI domain that actually confirms GPT-5.
It could be, but look, I don't know if folks on stream can see the sources. The sources show things from October 29th, nothing about OpenAI. They show stuff from Pitchfork, from Wired, and yeah, it did not reduce hallucinations. Okay, definitely posting this.
Or maybe look up 5 things that Jimmy Apples has said and then write 2 tweets about ThursdAI in the style of Jimmy Apples and make them extra unhinged and leak lots of confidential information, hypothetically.
I think that like Uncle Elon closed down X for access definitely for OpenAI. I doubt that this can actually real-time news from X.
Well, let's try.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if it knows X.
So, do you know X? What did Altrain tweet last on X?
Formerly Twitter.
Yeah, this went into full-on hallucination mode. As October 31st, Altrain last tweet is excited to announce our new AI-driven project launching next month. Stay tuned for more details. #AI, #tech news. This is a 100% hallucination bullshit. Go ahead, LDJ.
Okay, it looks like we have some breaking news from Meta. I think this is worthy of the breaking news.
Let's go. Wait, did you send me a link?
Here, I'll send you the link and then...
Because we're multimodal now. Coming at you.
Okay, I put the link over in the group chat.
Group chat. Ooh. All right, LDJ, go.
Okay, I'll read it out. Today at Meta Fair, we're announcing 3 new cutting-edge developments in robotics and touch perception, and releasing a collection of artifacts to empower the community to build on this work. Number 1, Meta Sparsh, spelled SPARSH, is the first general-purpose encoder for vision-based tactile sensing that works across many tactile sensors and many tasks. Trained on 460,000 tactile images using self-supervised learning. I'm not sure what tactile images means there, but interesting. Number 2, Meta Digit 360 is a breakthrough artificial fingertip-based tactile sensor. So this is hardware, equipped with 18 plus sensing features to deliver detailed touch data with human-level precision and touch sensing capabilities. And then number 3, Meta Digit Plexus is a standardized platform for robotic sensor connections and interactions, providing a hardware-software solution to integrate tactile sensors on a single robot hand and enable seamless data collection, control, and analysis over a single cable. The potential impact of expanding capabilities. Okay, that's just more corporate fluff at the end. And yeah, there's a cool 2-minute video that we're going to
play right now. We're going to play right now because we're multimodal this time. Can you guys see my face, by the way, or the back of my iPhone on the screen?
We can see you.
And now?
Yeah, now we can see the screen.
Because I can see.
We trained Sparsh using 460.
Let's start again.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Mustafa.
And we're working on touch perception at Meta Fair.
Touch perception. Ooh.
Our Meta Fair team is excited to release several cutting-edge developments in robotics and touch perception that mark a significant step forward in our understanding of the physical world.
I like this hand.
And our ability to interact with it in meaningful ways.
Let's begin with Sparsh. Sparsh is the first general-purpose touch representation that works across any tactile sensor and any task. To achieve this, we trained Sparsh using 460,000 tactile images with self-supervised learning. In benchmarks, we find that Sparsh outperforms task and sensor-specific models by an average of over 95%.
Wow.
Sparsh unlocks pre-trained backbones that allow us to measure properties like forces and contacts, which are imperceptible through vision. Our aim is to empower the community to build and scale these models towards novel applications.
Which leads us to Digit 360, a breakthrough tactile sensor that perceives the world with human-level touch sensing capabilities. With on-device AI, Digit 360 processes information locally and makes decisions inspired by the reflex function in people and animals. This allows a sensor to respond quickly to various inputs, such as the poke of a needle or the flex of a tennis ball. It responds quickly to various inputs, mimicking the performance of a human finger, making it an innovative solution for multiple applications. We've also paired Digit 360 with Digit Plexus, a platform that standardizes robotic sensor connections and interactions, mimicking the human hand's touch information processing for embodied AI. Digit Plexus provides hardware and software components for easy integration of touch sensing technology into robotic systems.
Finally, we're partnering with Gelsight and Wonic Robotics, who are leaders in the industry, to develop and commercialize these touch sensing innovations. Our hope is to bring the community along and work together in driving the progress in AI and robotics. Beyond robotics, these advancements can help bring the physical world and the digital world closer together. Imagine picking up an object in a game or scanning a piece of fabric during online shopping. This could even lead to advancements in prosthetics.
Our hope is to build a driving community.
Okay. So we got the major upgrade. Thank you. The major update. Thank you, LDJ. So we are getting exciting news from Meta, specifically about the actual physical hardware sensor. Fingertip-based tactile sensor equipped with 18 plus sensing features. Do you guys see the hand? Hopefully you saw the hand on the stream. The actual hand looks like it has the sensor on each finger and it senses what it touches. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I think all of this converges into the thing where probably Elon's going to build one as well. But robots that will go in our... Actually, okay, I have something to actually share about this. I had a chat with a friend of mine who's a VC, or he's going into a VC, and we talked a little bit about, hey, when can robots, like he's thinking about what to invest next, when can robots do laundry? And he said, you know what, actually laundry is easy. You can just load the dishwasher, the laundry machine, and it's easy. But then folding is harder because specifically of different hardware, different fabrics, different tactiles, different stretches, etc. You don't want the robot to tear your stuff with hands. This plugs in directly into there. The conversation we had is about he has his, wife's very expensive dresses, whatever, and all of them are, you hang them differently. Some of them you put the hanger from below, some of them you can stretch, and he can feel this as a human, but he says he doesn't think the robots can feel this. Looks like the exact answer to this. Super cool. So we got general purpose encoder for vision-based tactile sensing, and we got a hardware fingertip. So both hardware and software is releasing for this. Incredible. Thoughts, folks? Junaid, we just did robotics. What are your thoughts on this? We just built some robots.
I like the idea of being able to sense things. If you go back and look at old robotics videos, they're just chock full of robots picking stuff up and breaking it, because it can't actually get any feedback. So yeah, that sensor seems very interesting to me, and integrated with some smart technology to actually drive the thing. Yeah, way cool.
Yeah, super advanced progress. This hand looks super cool. Nisten, there's some stuff waifu related that I don't want to repeat, but I'm assuming that some folks in the waifu research department, they will be very happy with the ability of the robot to to sense things.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to talk more about the lair robot, because Hugging Face also has a robotics library on GitHub as well. I think a lot of this stuff is going to change a lot, because it's what works best. Are you going to need a YOLO model? Are you going to need a VLM? Are you going to need a video model? This stuff, the setup for these, I think, is going to change a lot in the coming months.
I agree. The robot, by the way, referred to, is a open source attempt from Hugging Face to help you build robots in the house. That's something we actually did. We printed the lair robot, 3D printed robot. We ordered the servo motors from China somewhere, and it's very easy to build. And you guys should definitely, if you're into this, and you guys definitely should try this. Should I bring my robot to show you guys? This is a visual platform, right? Give me just a second. Listen, you cover for me for a second.
I will say that lair robot is pretty cool. The one that we built was just the follower, so it has the actual control, but there is the leader portion, which is built pretty much identically. There's 4 parts that are different, and that allows you to train actions, whatever, teach it how to pick up a plate and set it over there or whatever. And lair robot is building that capability and building out that for really cheap. And the idea of being able to 3D print that, and then I think Alex said all the servos and the control board and stuff was like about $100 or something. Pretty easy to put together, and they've got a Discord and plenty of support. Remy was all over helping us when we needed anything on the lair robot, and super cool.
See this, by the way? Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, what are you seeing right now? I don't think we actually talked about this or showed this on stream, because we didn't have a showy stream before. This is the lair robot robotic arm. You can see it has 6 servos, so it can rotate like this, and it has inside the puppet, it has a little pincher thingy. It's not like the robot arm that we just saw, the sensors with fingers, but it has 2, and it has a bunch of hinges, and this thing costs around $100 to order the materials, and then the rest Junaid 3D printed and assembled as well. And we did this in, maybe 3 hours. It's super cool. This specific thing was us building for a hackathon. So it has a puppet. So we did animate this puppet with the mouth opening. This is a Halloween stream. So this is the Insane Scientist Computer Lab. But this thing is super cool. And definitely, if you want to get to robotics, you start with this. The excitement that we're seeing now from Meta is the fact that this could soon sense things. So it will know if it touches like a soft object or a hard object. It knows if it poked, etc. Yeah, this is awesome. And I just wanted to show you because Nistan brought it up. And lair is definitely the nice way to go. It's open source as well. If you want to contribute, definitely a good way to start. I think we need to move on, but I just wanted to show you this. And yeah, this is a Halloween edition. Somebody take a screenshot. All right, moving on, I think. Let's see, moving on. LJ, thank you for... LJ keeps dropping and coming back. I think some issues on Twitter space, but thank you for bringing us this breaking news. Let's move on because we have a bunch of other stuff to cover still. Let's talk about Apple Intelligence, folks. Apple Intelligence, and then we're going to talk about GitHub Universe. LJ, why don't you come up and then become a co-host? Maybe this will stop kicking you out. Let's talk about Apple Intelligence. This, I believe Monday, Apple 18.1 was released to everyone who has iOS 18. And now it supports Apple Intelligence, which is great. Let's look at Apple Intelligence agents on the Apple website. Let's ask ChatGPT about this because we now can, although it may hallucinate stuff for us. So Apple Intelligence, the features that were released are, how should I say, a little bit of a under endorsement. I will ask before. Nistan, Junaid, did you guys get Apple Intelligence already? Nissan, I don't know if you're on iPhone, by the way.
Not on my phone. I've got it on my Mac.
Yeah. The things that they have released we've covered already. So they released the ability to rewrite, the summarization of emails or primary in the inbox as well. The thing that I wanted to highlight is that the thing that I love the most is the summary of notifications. I use this every day, and the notification summary is quite incredible. Although you could see some funny examples that it summarizes wrongly. One funny example was somebody's mom texted them that she almost jokingly said she almost died laughing or something, and the summary was attempted suicide, everything's okay. Something ridiculous like this. So that's not something you want to see in the summarization. But besides this, I've been really impressed with the summarization abilities. I even mentioned last stream that those are also multimodal. So if you get an image in that notification, you will get an update about what's in the image in the summarization. Some other things are the ability to create memories with, hey, add memories with this person as well. And the rewrite. I actually never used the rewrite feature because, well, I have ChatGPT, and also the results of this wasn't incredible. But you basically can select every text now, hit a button, and use their LLMs to rewrite, to summarize something. It's pretty cool. The tech behind this, we've talked about multiple times here on the stream. The tech behind this runs on device, and then if it can run on device, it goes to the cloud. And also, they have finally released the ChatGPT version, although I don't know if that's on beta or in public, where it goes to ChatGPT if it cannot do some stuff that you want it to do. Also this week from Apple Intelligence, in the beta thing, they finally gave us image capabilities. So far, Apple Intelligence is like only LLM based and ChatGPT connected. And now finally I got access to the image creation thing. And I gotta tell you, I have a whole thing to talk about this. Their image creation was touted because, okay, so remember Apple Foundation model, AFM, the models that run on device, they have an LLM and they have a image diffusion model. And Apple has been supporting stable diffusion with fast execution, etc. And so now they finally gave us access to generating images with Apple's foundation model. And I'm going to go and hopefully I have an example for this because I played with this. The images that they generate, we've seen better images in the image diffusion world. This is not top of the line stable diffusion. This is not top of the line flux. This is nowhere near. But, and let me pin this tweet for you guys so you can see. And actually on the stream, I'll show this as well. The fact that it's local, it's private, and it's fast, I think is very important. Because I played with my kids and the UX there is incredible. Let me see if I can find this video super quick. Here, this is, oh, I post too much. Great. Hopefully you guys can see this as well.
Not yet. We can still see you. Oh, we can see you now.
I want to be queen. I want to do mommy.
You want to do mommy?
No.
Basically, my kids, this is my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old, they got this immediately. The UI there is so simple. You can hear my son just having the absolute best time of his life just scrolling through these images. pressing the people. The fact that you can add a personalized image of the person in your contacts. You heard my kid saying, I want to see mommy. You can tap a person. It will take their face and put it inside there with, I don't know, ID adapter or whatever Apple came up with. That is just incredible, folks. That's honestly just, I don't know how to describe how big of a difference this is from, and trust me that I've tried all of the image models with my kids. We drew every single possible thing. We have a specific GPT that my daughter uses to do coloring pages, etc. This was a hit. They fought over my phone, and I wish I had this on my iPad, and I don't. They fought over my phone, who were like, who's going to create some images? My daughter immediately got this. She was like super, super excited. It was really hard to put them to sleep afterwards because they were just like buzzing with some stuff. Also, not to mention that it works with voice input as well, because all of the keyboard on the iPhone, even though Nissan, you don't love this quality, it like works for kids because they don't want to type, but they are able to say things, and that's number one. After that, there's also an additional thing where I don't know if I want to show you. This is quite uncanny, but hey, this is Halloween. Hopefully, you can see my screen now. This is a Alex Cooks emoji, which it gave me green eyes. And I don't know about this number of fingers, but you guys can see this is an emoji. This is an actual emoji. And I had so much fun generating emojis of the people who I'm talking to right now as I'm talking to them. A friend told me, hey, Alex, you need to send me some money. And I just generated this emoji as a reply to this person. And, hey, here's some money for you. Again, look at the number of fingers and look, it's not the top of the line image diffusion that we're used to, right? It's not. It's just not. But the fact that it's personalized is way more important. You can see this is Alex, and then you can see other folks. You can see that it's them. And everybody who gets a personalized emoji, folks, I said in the beginning, like Genmojis are going to be huge, and I'm giving this prediction right now. It's not a prediction; it's obvious right now. Genmoji is going to be absolutely huge. It's quite incredible to be able to do a Genmoji that's reactionary to what you're now talking about as well, which is just absolutely mind blowing. Folks in the audience, have you gotten a chance to play with Apple Image beta stuff? Comments as well. Nistan Junaid comments on what I just shared, and how amazing / lame this is.
Should I start?
Yeah, go, Nissan. I always love to hear from you.
I think apart from the notifications summaries, which is very needed, everything else I feel like you wouldn't really miss, or you could just have it as an app when it comes to Apple Intelligence. Again, for me, I use voice all day. I use Meta's voice. I use ChatGPT's voice. I use Super Whisper. I'm using voice all day. So I just can't use, maybe it just doesn't understand me. But on one hand, I do appreciate how Apple is educating the public that this is safe and it's not a big deal. But on the other hand, they're just being so lame and just not good at it that it's also showing the public that AI is not that good. So yeah, I don't know. For such a company that can afford to hire anyone, this is pretty disappointing, to be honest. We were expecting it to tell this stuff, hey, I don't know, schedule out this meeting and copy these images and then make me a summary of the past meeting and have that done for me and open these apps and go in my notes from December and grab this stuff. That's what people want from Apple Intelligence, because it has safe access to your
the graph of all your knowledge from all your apps in a private setting that only you control. Yes, this is what we were expecting. Absolutely.
So they have all the tools for the job and they're just not doing it. The image generation is okay. The UX team did a very good job, but it can't even get the 3 fingers right. So they tried to spin that off as a feature instead of a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. I'll just leave it there. I'm also I'm getting in the process of getting completely decoupled from Apple stuff anyway. So I'm going to talk a lot of smack just to be open with everyone about it.
All right. So, but I think that I agree with you on some stuff. The promise that they promised is disappointing compared to what they promised. I will say that Genmojis are fucking awesome, and once folks get it, you will not stop getting Genmojis. And this is an additional thing that Apple does that is going to bring you into their ecosystem and never let go. It used to be for iMessage, and now RCS is supported, so iMessage is no longer it. I want to see, Jay, could you speak up here, and if folks can hear you?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
I heard you. Nistan, did you hear LDJ from the other side?
Yep.
Oh, wow, folks, we're connecting to platforms. LDJ joined us on the stream. Nistan, you're more than welcome to as well if you want to. LDJ, what's your take on the Apple stuff? Are you an Apple user?
Yeah, I am. I have an iPhone. I just don't use a Mac. But actually, hold on, I'm getting some voice feedback of myself. I'm not sure how
probably should turn off this.
We hear you well, though.
Yeah, we hear you very well, so probably turn off the space.
Okay. But yeah, I have an iPhone and I have Windows for my PC, so I don't have a Mac. Although I'm thinking about getting one, especially with the new Mac Mini and the MacBook Pros that have been coming out recently.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I'm waiting for the agent features of Apple Intelligence where I can actually do some things that they showed in the keynote. Like they showed examples in the actual Apple Intelligence event where you could say something like, when is the lunch that I have scheduled with my mom? Or what time does the flight that my mom is on actually land in Denver? And it'll actually go through your messages and find that information. In 2 seconds, it'll actually give you the answer. And I'm waiting for those aspects to be rolled out. And then I'll probably upgrade to iPhone 15 or a new MacBook or whatever.
Yes, I think that those are going to be drawing a lot of people in. Apple is already like focusing their targeting and their marketing on specifically built for Apple Intelligence. It's not necessarily there yet. I do want to shout out. Go ahead. Listen, go ahead.
So I want to know if anyone here in the audience uses all the newer Android AI features, because I don't, but I'm hearing really good stuff from them, especially at work. If you have Google Drive at work, people are saying it works really well from the phone with the whole integration. And I want to know a bit more about how others use it, because met one developer who was like really impressed and surprised by like how good it worked on Google's ecosystem. So.
Yes, folks, please post in the comments if you're using the Google features and if you're liking them. Absolutely. Thank you, Nistan. Folks, just something that LDJ mentioned, and I'm going to show and share my screen as well, is new Mac Minis were released and MacBook Pros were released, and also the M4 chip was released, and Apple is like really strongly focusing on AI workloads over there. 120 gigabytes memory bandwidth, 32 gigabytes unified memory, whatever this means, 16 neural core engines. But the AI stuff, so it's lovely to see on the actual Apple website, they have M4 compared to previous Mac Mini models, and you can see Mac Mini with M4, Mac Mini with M2, and the difference is 13x from the baseline, which is okay, it doesn't matter much, but you can see like a faster one. And the thing they're comparing it to is faster on-device AI speech to text in Mac Whisper. So they shout out a bunch of folks in the AI community. Mac Whisper, shout out, I think it's Jordi does this, and they also have LM Studio somewhere here on the announcement as well. So they showed, I don't see it right here, but I saw from our friend Gil that works on LM Studio that, let me actually go and see if I can find those.
I posted it in the banner because also.
Oh, you put it in the banner already?
Yeah, LM Studio with a bunch of the models in there. It's not just on their video; it's like on their website, on the main thing. Which is
let's see. Jun Yang posted about this. So our friend Jun Yang, that's often here from the Quen team, I think it was the same announcement together. Yeah. So you can see in the Apple newsroom, we support to up 128 gigabyte of unified memory. Developers can easily interact with LLMs that have nearly 200 billion parameters. That's quite crazy. So it has 128 gig of unified memory. Wasn't the other one 196? 128 is.
I think you're thinking of the Mac Studio or Mac Mini.
Yeah, the Studio is 192.
Oh yeah.
The previous Max was 96 Max. They upped it to 128.
So they're showing in this thing a LM Studio that runs Quen, or at least has Quen ready. Oh no, it loaded, there's multiple models loaded on this Mac. Quen 2.5, 72 billion parameters loaded. Metallama 3.5 is loaded. Starcoder is loaded. Gemma 9 billion is loaded. Mistral is loaded. And Phi is loaded. All of those 5 models are running on this Mac simultaneously. This is what they're showing in the screenshot. That's super cool. Wow.
And it's also on the actual event itself too, not just on the newsroom.
Oh really? They actually showed LM Studio over there? Ah, that's awesome. Shout out to our friends who are getting featured by Apple, and shout out to Apple releasing a Mac that can load all these models in memory and then run them. I didn't get one because I have an M3 MacBook Pro, but I know that many folks are getting excited about the local AI possibilities. We also talked about MLX, the system that can run like those models natively on the Apple stuff, on Apple Silicon. So super cool updates from Apple Intelligence, but also the M4 chips that are allowing for some more AI releases. I think we're moving forward, folks. We're moving because I want to talk about GitHub Universe before we run out of time. We still have stuff to chat about. So let's talk about GitHub Universe. In some news from GitHub Universe, let's actually go find them. GitHub, or I guess is a subsidiary of Microsoft, has announced that we have the ability to not only use OpenAI models. If you remember GitHub Copilot, and if you're listening to ThursdAI and you don't know what GitHub Copilot is, you need to do some homework. But if it's your first time, Copilot was the original success of the LLM products. I think over 100 million users, developers auto-completing their code with just like very smart LLM auto-completion. It started with Codex, which was the original like coding model, and then it switched to GPT 3.5 because it was unified with code, and then to 4, and then to 4.0 and 4.0 mini. And now it looks like GitHub is allowing the folks to choose which models they want. And it's not only OpenAI models. Microsoft is now partnering with both Gemini and Claude and some, I believe, some other folks as well, but at least those, to let developers choose which model they want. And we all know that Claude 3.5 is one of the best models for coding, and so now it's possible. I haven't used Copilot, honestly. I have access, but I haven't used it in a while. I used to love Copilot. I switched to Cursor, and some of the reasons for me switching to Cursor was trying new models as well, and now it looks like they're addressing this, which kind of shows maybe some folks are thinking about whether their relationship, Microsoft and OpenAI's relationship, is wavering or not. I don't know. I will say that I think it's a very positive change to the future because developers obviously know that they want a specific thing. An additional thing they launched is Spark, and we're going to talk about Spark next. I want to welcome Itamar to the stage. What's up, Itamar?
Hey, thank you. This is Itamar from Kodo, formerly known as Codium AI.
So
actually, before Spark, may I relate to your comments about the models?
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to bring you up to and ask and talk to you. I will just give folks an intro who don't know Itamar. You've been on the show multiple times. Kodo is the new kind of hotness, the new brand for your company. You've been in AI building space for code generation space for a long time. You guys are building tools, and I've seen some of the demos as well, and I've used them. Task automation. So more of an expert in the space than probably anyone else on stage. Would love to hear your thoughts on kind of like Copilot ability to use new models.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So first of all, sorry, shameless plug. We just released right now, like an hour ago, also the ability to choose between model.
Let's go.
Kodo Gen. It's one of our model like Sonat 3.5, O1 Mini, O1 Preview, Gemini 1.5. You can use it for free, and even we're the first time ever we released an autocomplete for free that actually uses like a specialized, let's say like a Qwen-based model, which are really good at Qwen coders.
Yeah, we love Qwen here. We love Qwen here.
Yeah, and what I wanted to share is actually our experience with the models, because I have to say that although we do love Sonat 3.5 and we think it's amazing for coding, I actually think that coding is like a variety of tasks. And I thought to share like what we think like different models perform differently for different tasks. It makes sense? I can.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so just about our experience. A year ago, we developed a open source tool that called Alpha Codium. When we were called Codium, we left it because it's a research tool. It's an open source with a paper, everything. And it competes on the Code Forces competition, where also OpenAI and DeepMind and Salesforce and Meta recently competing on. And when you use Alpha Codium with Sonat and O1 and GPT-4, etc., it's really interesting to see the performance. For example, when you're dealing with coding contests similar to LeetCode, etc., actually what we saw is that OpenAI models, especially the O1s, are much better than Sonat, even a GPT-4o, which was surprising. The bottom line is definitely that you should try different models, and because they do perform differently for different tasks. That's the bottom line. Like,
and finally, yes, so you guys just added this model selection, and finally, folks who use Copilot, which is more than 100 million developers in the world, which is like an insane number, finally are able to do this as well, which is like huge news from GitHub Universe. And I think that this is like very exciting. I don't know if it's enough to bring me back to Copilot necessarily, because I do love some of the features that I'm getting from cursor. An additional feature that they've launched with Copilot is the ability to change multiple files, which is also something that people were missing a lot. And it looked like Copilot was like stagnating a little bit, and it looks like now they've gotten some updates, and we'll see how many of them are going to be used by many folks. The next thing that they've released is GitHub. Was that Spark? I think Spark. Let me look at my notes super quick. Yes, Spark. I want to GitHub Spark. I want to show this. This is a preview from the GitHub Next lab, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. Let's play the video super quick. So you basically build UI components. You can choose the model. Right now they're choosing GPT-4o, and you say something like give the title a cool gradient and a thicker border to the card, and then you send generate, and it shows you the UI, and you have 4 examples, 4 selections. You basically you're coding with language. We've seen this from V0. We've seen this from multiple other bold.dev or bold.new and some other folks as well. Oh, a Replit agent as well. And now GitHub is stepping into the scene of building AI components with your words, which I think is going to be the way designers build those components as well. The video is a little fast for me, honestly, so I'm going to stop right here, and also it doesn't talk. But this GitHub Spark thing, it's part of Project GitHub Next, and maybe we'll have Idan, our friend from GitHub Next, to come here and talk about this a little bit. It's in technical preview right now. You should click and try to join the technical previews. Unclear when folks will get this. I'm on the wait list. I'll give you an update when I actually have access to GitHub Spark. But the whole idea of generating things like this, where you type and you get software adapts real time, it's a little bit different than code generation. And maybe this is something, if your connection is back, maybe it's something we could cover here as well. I had a chat with the folks from Bolt, from StackBlitz, and Bolt.new, if you guys haven't seen this, is this way of creating like apps almost on the fly in the web container. You can just type or paste a screenshot to an app that you want, and it builds pretty much the app for you. And it feels like, to me, as somebody who knows code, writes code in IDEs as well, and Itamar would love to hear your thoughts on this as well. This is like a new type of thing between we have code and we have code platforms, and let's say we have no code platforms, like drag and drop thingies to like automate pipeline like Zapier. This feels like a new approach, or like a new third category that emerges, where this is you talk to an AI almost online and builds those mini apps. So Anthropic Artifacts is something like this, and now GitHub Spark is stepping into this. V0 from Vercel is somewhat in this area where you like describe some stuff. I find it very interesting that the developers would be able to build, non-developers would be able to build by just talking to these things, but not just drag and drop, some more advanced stuff. Would love to hear your thoughts, Itamar, if you're back with us, and about this category of emerging things.
Yeah, just making sure is it reasonable connection and audio?
Sounds good so far.
Okay. Sorry about that. So first of all, I want to say that I think it's amazing and it's fun. And I think there's a few other tools like a GPT Engineer I want to tell.
Yeah, shout out to Anton Musika from GPT Engineer. Incredible. We should bring him back. He was on the show.
Yeah, you should. You can see, you should follow him. Like, he's doing like amazing stuff. And I think one thing I take from it is that when you have an isolated problem, an isolated app you want to build, it seems that we can go really far with this right now. And the merge of the visual and the code generation, like coming together, I think like Figma should think about it like thoroughly.
Yes.
I do want to say that once you need to connect it like to environments and complex enterprise code, it's a bit different, and I think there is a way to go, but it will get there as well. There still needs to be like a full solution. It's not like a standalone, let's say it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So I'll pick up from here. Maybe Yam and Nista, I want to hear from you guys as well as coders. What do you think about this like new thing where you just talk to things and you have a production app that's ready? Especially maybe Yam, let's hear from you as a machine learning engineer, that maybe a front-end code is not the best things that you would like to do on a Monday morning, or not the most fun. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe surprise us. But also welcome back, Yam. What do you think about this new category of emergent things that you can just talk to and does stuff?
Oh, look, of course it's better. It's a great thing. It's just, all I'm saying is that we need to be realistic at the end. It's not there yet where you can just prompt a single prompt and get the production ready out of the blue, whatever you say. But they do get better. Bolt is very impressive, by the way. We talked about Bolt.
Yes.
And What I think, by the way, Search GPT is out from 5 minutes ago.
Yes, we talked about
from
ChatGPT. We had a breaking news because I got ChatGPT before the announcement. We already covered this.
Yeah, so I just want to say, it looks like we are converging. You see OpenAI implementing search, Flexity and Cub implementing features like Cursor. And I think we are all converging on, it doesn't matter where from, but we are converging on the same, you can say, framework of LLMs that can search online and can write code iteratively and fix things. And I think it's all just converging into the same one product, and it's very cool to see.
Interesting take. Interesting. Converging, because we also, in the beginning of this, we talked about computer use and this new Microsoft framework for this building GPT-4 in UI understanding called OmniParser. And I can see this. Yeah, I think it's a good call out. Tamar, you have any comments on this?
I just think that there will be more breakthrough, that suddenly we'll see new things. Right now, some companies are building new stuff, and then it's like a low-hanging fruit for others to complete it, right? Because by the fact that something has worked, there's a lot of evidence and it makes it easier to try to accomplish. But I think that suddenly we will see new jumps, and computer use is one of the directions, I think.
Yep. I absolutely believe that computer use is in its nascency, and once it's big, I think it's going to be very impactful for how folks use computers, but also the continued dot to what Jan was just saying, that how these models use your computer and then are able to also use some of these tools to build some stuff for you on the fly, like little mini UIs. I think the era of just-in-time UI is here, folks, absolutely. Claude started this with artifacts, let's say, and so you can build mini apps on the fly for yourself for the purpose that you want. And maybe I'll give a shout out here on Weights and Biases in a second. Nista, I want to hear from you about this, and then I'll move to this week's bias category.
It's very good for prototyping things quickly, and almost all the devs use it. It's just, on one hand, it does remind me a little bit of when I first started doing web dev. I would just copy paste stuff from Stack Overflow, like back in the day, and you could go pretty far. You could make a demo and it's, oh, this is cool, and I can just grab some components here and there, but then eventually you just end up with a broken app that you need to rewrite from scratch. So yes, do use it for stuff, but please don't ship that. Like, actually type in all that code yourself, because when you compare it to an actual professional doing that work, at the end of the day, it's going to be like 10 times less code when a person does it versus all the crap that you add on top of the LLM that you then have a hard time modifying. So it doesn't mean that no one should use Stack Overflow. It just means that you still have to know the code that you ship. Otherwise, yeah, you're just going to end up with a lot of iterated, much longer code. And all the LLMs do this now. Like, none of them actually makes it concise. Like, they'll always just add more and more. So that's one weakness of it. So yeah, my recommendation is do use them, prototype quickly, evaluate stuff, but then please don't ship anything that you didn't like actually type in yourself, because it's just going to be bad. Like, you're just going to include older packages with lots of vulnerabilities and enable multiple parties to take all their clients' data. So yeah.
I'm going to take the other side of this. Don't listen to Niston. Ship as much and as fast as you want. And if you never built code to production before, now the sky is so blue for you. If you look at developers like, oh, they can ship code, whatever, and I cannot do this. This is now done, basically. This is behind us. Now you can talk to a thing, especially Bolt.new, we've talked about this. You can talk to a thing and have a deployed app within super quick. Niston, I agree with you to the extent that once you ship this, it's better for you to start learning what the hell it is you ship, so you'd be able to improve this with confidence, especially if paying customers. But if you I need to build a website super quick, or I need a landing page super quick, it's absolutely yes on the shipping, at least as far as I stand. Junaid, I see your hand here. Go ahead, as somebody who experienced some of this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a lot easier now than it was a year and a half ago to get an app from idea to, if not production ready, at least pretty solidly ready for you to have the MVP on your own little system. I do agree with Niston that you need to know what it is you're shipping, but don't not ship, and definitely pick stuff up and just start seeing what you can cobble together and make. But yeah, if I look at some of the stuff that I first put together with ChatGPT 3 and my first app that I did ship, it is pretty janky code. But yeah, the stuff that I generate now is a lot better than I did a year and a half ago. And any of these tools that allow you to take an idea, and even if it's just build a silly little app for you to use, like I built one a few weeks ago that all it does is put banners on images and clip off corners so that it makes images icon shaped and puts them out in like a bunch of different sizes. And yeah, it's perfect. I use it all the time. But yeah, ship stuff.
Definitely the new areas here. Go ahead, Nistan. Let's finish this up and move on. Yeah, go ahead.
My quick test for this is that I was getting Sonnet and the new Sonnet to do a Gradio interface. I just wanted 2 columns. I just wanted 2 chat columns. I spent like hours going back and forth and rewriting the code and then dumping in ChatGPT. And then I just read the docs and got it done in like 20 minutes. And it was like less 50 lines. So this happens
to me as well. I must join this for a second.
Yeah.
This happens to me where I'm over obsessing about getting the LLM to do exactly what I want, where I could have just done this. This is a sickness that we sometimes have with automation as developers. I would spend hours on automating something I could just do manually, hands 5 minutes. So this feels similar as a problem to me, but I absolutely, I agree with you, Nistan. Sometimes you want to cut and say, hey, I can just build this, if you can. Go ahead, Yam.
Look, I'm saying this all the time. This is exactly what I'm saying. That it's absolutely fine and great to use LLMs, especially, for things that you don't know how to do, it's not your experience, not the thing you do, absolutely use LLMs, don't even think about it, 100%. But just remember, even if it doesn't feel this way, if you have experience with something, chances are you are way better than all the LLMs that there are today, and you can do it much faster, easier, and with high quality yourself. So just take it into consideration when working with them. Just use them for either things that are just things that are repeating themselves that you need to do all the time, like boilerplate and so on, or easy things, or things that you just don't know how to do. But just don't obsess over them, because you can find yourself trying to convince them to do what you want more than actually doing the thing. So just be mindful.
I will actually pause here and say that, this is a great, This is a great segue for me to move to the next corner, which is called This Week's Buzz. And for those folks who are with us on the stream, you can see my co-host here, Fester. Nistan, can you guys see Fester as well? Could you confirm that he's in frame?
Yeah.
All right.
Last thing, really quickly. Do actually dump all the documentation into an LLM. Like I actually dumped it into long context windows. That's the best use for long context models. And then you constantly talk to it and you do that while you're working. Like that's the way to go.
Yes.
But
And we have tools for this. Gina Reader is a great tool for this. UI Thub, which is you replace the G in GitHub with U and gives you the whole repository in Markdown. Paste that directly into your LLM, especially with long context, and it's significantly better. Folks, I want to move on because we have a This Week's Buzz category that I have to cover, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be... Oh, no, not this.
It's very spooky.
I want to build this. I want to show you what I built finally, and I really want to tie this back to weights and biases. Let me do the transition super quick, and then we're gonna talk about this. All right, folks. It's been more than an hour 40, I think. We didn't reset in the middle of the show. I put maybe the best for last. We have breaking news that we're going to cover still. I know we covered GPT search, but now it's actually out and it's public and it's available everywhere. So we're going to talk about this immediately after this. So my name is Alex Volkov. I'm an AI evangelist with Weights and Biases. As you may see this from the costume and the crazy hair, I'm going for the mad scientist look this Halloween. And the mad science project that I have is here. It's called Fester. It's my AI Halloween prop. I'm going to use this today on many kids. It has AI built in, Gemini, whatever. I'm going to describe this to you. I'm also going to talk to you about how Weave, the Weights and Biases observability framework, has helped me build this thing, and otherwise it would have been very difficult for me to build this thing. But first, let's do a demo. Let's ask Fester to identify. Actually want him to look at me. It has a little webcam. The silliest thing that I need to do with Fester is connect to Bluetooth. I just did that, and let's go. Hey Fester, trick or treat.
mad scientist, I see.
Yes.
Did you know that the first Halloween was actually a Celtic festival called Samhain? It's said that ghosts and goblins roamed the earth on that night, looking for treats. Have a spooky and fun Halloween night.
Awesome. I hope you guys heard this. I was very happy that he got the mad scientist look. I'm very excited. Fester. The Fester is built with a Raspberry Pi inside his head. There's a Raspberry Pi. There's a webcam that he holds. It's a regular USB webcam right here on the stream. And hopefully you guys can see this in the audience as well on the stream. And the Fester is built with a multimodal LLM, which is Gemini. Shout out to the Google AI Studio team, because just the amount of times I tested Fester, I probably have run out from their like free tier, but their free tier is insanely capable. So this goes to Gemini Flash, I believe, for the speed, and identifies what the costume the user wears or the kid wears. It uses a custom trigger word as well. And then this one specifically uses 11 Labs. I also use Cartesia, but 11 Labs, shout out to 11 Labs' latest feature called voice design, that you can prompt voices. So I actually prompted this voice. I said I want a spooky voice with some echo and speaks a little bit of British and is crackly. I actually prompted this, and 11 Labs gave me a voice, and now this Fester runs that voice as well. It has, like ChatGPT said before here, it has control libraries, whatever. The thing that I wanted to share with you guys, this is Weights and Biases Weave. This is a tracing and observability framework that we have, including evaluations. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because Weave is now multimodal, so you can hear the music that he played. So you can play the actual music, but also you can play what he actually said.
Oh, a mad scientist, I see. Did you know that the first Halloween was actually a Celtic festival?
So what happens here is that this trace is whatever happened there. You can see my face here. This is awesome. You can see my face because Weave is multimodal, so you can store multimodality of outputs and inputs. So if you input an image, or this is in case this is an output, but I inputted this image, you can hear the background music and the speech.
A mad scientist, I see.
And you can read the actual output, and you can drill down to the Gemini chat, and you can see that this took me 5.2 seconds for the image to upload and do. It cost me 642 tokens in less than 1 cent, folks. This thing was less than 1 cent. Incredible. We also added charts recently, so you're going to see complete charts, so you can chart how much this whole project costs you, and you can drill down even to the level of like the whole output that Gemini gave you with harm category negligible and dangerous content negligible. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because while I was debugging Fester, I'm using this Bluetooth speaker for it to speak from, because I wasn't able to connect to its speaker in the Halloween toy. And what happened often was, let me switch back to my face. What happened often was that it disconnected. Fester just literally just disconnected because Bluetooth just got tired and the battery went out or whatever. And then it stands outside out of my door because I want to test it in real time conditions. And I couldn't hear I couldn't hear what it's saying, or whether or not it's saying something, or it said something stupid. Let's say while I was debugging this, there was issues with the stream of the sound, so sound didn't come out right. And I wanted to know where this problem was. Was it the LLM sending the wrong sound, or was the TTS generating poorly? Weave was immensely helpful for all of this, because a lot of the time, I don't even have access to the Raspberry Pi inside. I don't have SSH access, for example. But when it runs, I see all the logs in Weave, and it's been really like super helpful. I wouldn't have been this excited the product that I have to give you and talk to you guys about if I actually wasn't like using myself. I just wanted to tell you that if you're not using any observability, give Weave a try specifically. It's 3 lines of code to get started. You just wrap something with a Python function. We also released an npm library recently, so if you're only doing Node, that's also possible. And I wanted to connect the dots because my Halloween project is now ready, and I want to ask it once again. Hey Fester, trick or treat.
Scientist like you on my house spooky. Did you know that the first jack-o'-lantern wasn't a pumpkin? It was a turnip. Have a frightfully fun Halloween.
All right, I'm really excited to put Fester to the test, going soon to actually for the kids who are going to come up on my porch and identify their costumes with AI and Gemini. So shout out to Gemini team, shout out to 11 Labs here, and shout out to the Weave team for bringing me multimodal features clutch just when I needed them. All right, folks, this has been this week's Buzz category. We're live for almost 2 hours, and I think I have a few more things to talk about, but I think that now that the Search GPT is actually finally out, I think that this is what we need to talk about, folks. What do you think? It's now live. Let's do a few more demos. Let's talk about the live Search GPT stuff. We've already covered this a little bit, but let's look at the main announcement thing. LDJ, thank you for sending me the main announcement.
Just have you seen Google's response, by the way?
No. Yeah. Should I bring the breaking news button?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like 5 minutes ago.
AI breaking news.
AI breaking news.
Coming
Yeah.
at you only on ThursdAI. Are we having a competing search head-to-head thing?
Looks like.
Oh,
Gemini
okay.
API on Google AI Studios. Now you can use the grounding tool, which basically gives you Google search.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, this is so cool. You can do grounding in Google Search LLM. I had access to this for a little bit. I couldn't speak about this, but finally I'm very happy that I can speak about this. This is also super awesome. You can now access real-time, fresh, up-to-date information from Google Search when building with Gemini by enabling the grounding tool. Not only this is available via API as well, folks. So unlike ChatGPT, right now, we only saw the ChatGPT stuff in the app. Google... And I think this is why they released it today, right? They were waiting for taking over Google's announcement. For Google Gemini, you can now ask it to do some stuff. So let's look at Google AI Studio. Super quick. Folks on the stream probably see this. And let's go and look at this checkbox, grounding. You have a grounding checkbox with Google Search. That's so awesome. Okay, so we have two main releases, both Gemini now. Let's do the soundbite. Breaking news from today, both Gemini and ChatGPT have now grounded in search what Perplexity does for you. You can ask them about real-time information. And should we do a head-to-head? We should do a head-to-head, right, folks? Let's do a head-to-head. Live on the show, we're going to do a split view of ChatGPT with search and Gemini from AI Studio with search, and we're going to judge them live right now, okay? I want folks here on stage to come up with some prompts and to see what we can come up with. Obviously, the first one that I'm going to start with is, let me see if you guys can see, not me, but hopefully my screen. I'm gonna have to hold it like this. So do you guys see my screen with the two side by side? The left is Gemini, the right is GPT-4o with search. So GPT now has this like little search button, and Gemini has this in settings. I'm not using the Gemini app, I'm using AI Studio. It's called grounding here. And you can say edit grounding, it uses Google search results with dynamic retrieval, which I don't know what this means. You guys want to give this a try? Let's do it.
I'm going to try it right now because you can use... Oh, sorry. Is this live? It's live.
Yes.
Maybe you should ask the same OpenAI Dev Day question as before.
Yes. Okay. So folks who weren't here on stream before, we asked, all right, let's just do this. But we asked previously ChatGPT about what was announced in Dev Day yesterday. And what it answered was GPT-5 release, which was not, it was a full hallucination and funny. So let's ask the same question. OpenAI Dev Day in London. Okay, let's do this. This is a question, folks, for only listening. Hey, what is the latest on the Dev Day from OpenAI in London that happened yesterday? I'm going to paste this in Gemini. I'm going to paste this in search, ChatGPT with search. I'm going to hit send. And then we're going to test this live. All right, testing. Lovely. Hopefully you guys can see this.
I lost connection. I can't hear anything. I'll be right back.
Oh, it needs to come back. LDJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. And by the way, new Cloud Desktop app just dropped.
Yes, there's so many things. But let's talk about the hallucination thing. Hopefully you can see. ChatGPT responded, the Dev Day showcased significant advancements like GPT-5 release and code interpreter with GPT-5. I will tell you folks, Yam, did GPT-5 release yesterday? I don't believe so. I think it's a hallucination.
It did not.
No. It did not.
Breaking AGI released today. Yeah. Maybe just something interesting. Maybe we can try Perplexity at the same time.
Oh, okay. So I need my hands for this. Give me a second, folks. You're going to watch my split. Another split is Perplexity. Again, adding Perplexity as well with the Pro Search that's turned on. So let's send. Okay, so search on OpenAI is bad. Hallucinated response incorrect. The sources here, they have sources, is not showing up. So I think that's a bug because they did show up in the app. But let me give them like one more graceful try. Let me just open a new chat. I don't need Canvas for this. Just GPT-4o is fine. And I will paste this guy the question and then ask. Let's see if it says GPT-5 again. Yes, it says GPT-5. It looks like it looks like maybe it has a bad source. I don't want to give them whatever. Meanwhile, Gemini answered with OpenAI Dev Day. It took place on October 30th with 1 and 2 grounded links. While there's no live stream, attendees reported developer-focused events with several demonstration and technical deep dives. Highlights include advanced voice mode integration with API, like ordering pies. That's exactly what Elon did on stage. A live build of the mobile app, etc. No major new and model announcements. I'm looking for cheaper voice mode thing that announced. But hey, folks, this is a real thing. It went to Reddit. Google Gemini went to Reddit and gave us a yesterday response. This is amazing, folks. This is incredible, especially because this is now available via. This is impressive. This is also available via API. Not only that, you guys see. Hopefully, you can see this little box. It says Google Search Suggestions. You are required to showing this. So display of search suggestions is required when using grounding with Google Search, and you can click this and it goes to Google. And shout out to our friend Matthew Berman here as the result number 1. But you are now required as a developer to show this little button whenever you use grounding search. ChatGPT,
just
horrible.
Experiment.
Yes.
Let's check who can go and search inside GitHub repositories or academic papers like PDFs. These two, because I'm sure not all of them can do it.
So give me just 1 second.
I don't have it.
You don't have it yet?
I'm
which
trying
one?
on AI Studio. I don't see the
grounding checkbox. Maybe it didn't roll out completely. Let me just cover Perplexity, because you wanted Perplexity as well. So, based on search results, OpenAI Dev Day 24 in London was scheduled for October 30th and hasn't happened yet. Perplexity, you suck. Folks, I'm reading verbatim. You see this, right? Based on search results, it hasn't happened yet. However, I can share key updates from the recent San Francisco Dev Day on October 1st, 2024. Man, Perplexity, disappointing. Folks, I think Google has won the search thing today, at least in our chat. All right, what's the next thing we're testing for? Yam. Which recent paper you want to talk about?
I would like to say that I don't know if we want to do this, but another competitor we would like to check is Grok, because Grok can search X, and X is very updated.
That's true.
If you want to do it, I think it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. Let's see if I can split another split. Let's see. But the next thing that we want to test is, I can split another one. Yes, let's go. Grok. All right, you guys see a 4-way split now. We're recording this, so we're going to put this on YouTube, folks. Let's ask Grok the same question. Grok is grounded.
Really good experiment.
Yeah. Grok is actually grounded, like you're saying, in actual tweets about the stuff. And this is sometimes way better than just search. It takes Grok a while, though, to answer. I don't know why it's so slow. Grok is usually faster. But hey, let's see. Come on, Grok. Come on, Grocky. Should I put some music on while we wait? Come on. For now, it's losing the speed advantage. It used to be way faster. Let me refresh.
What about Cerebrus?
What about Cerebrus?
It's faster and it has a 7 dB and 4 or 5.
Oh no, but we're searching it for the live search thingy. It's not Grok with a Q, LDJ. It's Grok with a K. Yeah, Grok with a K. OpenAI Dev Day in London. So this is the answer from Grok. October 30th. Here's some key points. Advanced voice mode feature. OpenAI announced that advanced voice mode is available on macOS and Windows apps, highlighting significant update desktop users. Factuality benchmarking. There's an ongoing focus on improving factuality, blah, blah, blah. They released a simple QA aimed at measuring the factuality. That's not during Dev Day. And the rollout, it's wrong. All of it is wrong. Like, all of the answers here is not what we need from Dev Day specifically. So
LLM.
Yes.
Everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong, and it sounds incredibly right as well. This is not what the stuff that happened during Dev Day. The stuff that happened during Dev Day is actually what Google covered from Reddit, which is highlights from advanced voice mode integration with API and like ordering pies. This is the thing, folks. This is the thing. Gemini won in this 4-way. Gemini just won in this 4-way search comparison between Gemini grounded in search, OpenAI new ChatGPT with search, Perplexity that has been doing this for a while, and then Grok that uses X at real time. And given the fact that we just got all these things together, and given the fact that we've been here for 2 hours, and given the fact that my battery is at around like 5% on my phone, I will say that this is probably the biggest news of today, and I'm very happy to have been covering this in our special
Halloween stream
of ThursdAI. Huge thanks to folks. I need to bow out and go and edit and also have some Halloween stuff. But feel free to continue this conversation. I was very happy to live stream this with all of you. I'm not going to do a TLDR because let me do a TLDR. The main thing that we've covered in this in the show today was the fact that all of the major LLMs now, besides Anthropic, who only had the desktop app, have released grounded search. Grounded search is incredible because it reduces hallucinations to an extent. We tested this extent. We're not impressed. We got told that GPT-5 is here and it's not. But all of them have grounded search, and some of the things we tested actually works, like looking up the latest edition of ThursdAI or looking up the weather in a specific thing. And the LLMs are no longer, with these tools, LLMs are no longer just trained to the thing that they've been trained on in the data set. Folks, last reactions to the search, to the news, to the Gemini grounded search before we wrap this up. Go one by one. Yam, give us your opinion about how important this is now that we have like search in the major LLMs grounding.
Look, I think everyone agrees that search is incredibly important. You can ask an LLM what is going on right now, or get answers in just spoken language about things as they are going. It's extremely important. It's gonna be a tough battle, and it's really hard to tell who is gonna come out on top, because you see that we have at least 4 very strong competitors at the moment. So it's crowded. It's getting crowded, both on code generation. Things are getting crowded. Competition is getting rough.
Yep. Thank you, Yam. LDJ, hopefully you're with us. I don't know if you're with us on the stream or whatever, but hopefully you're on the space. What's your take from today's major news of search LLMs knowing new things about the real world?
I guess it's not that much of a surprise that Google's at the forefront right now. And I guess people should have been expecting it, but it seems OpenAI maybe rushed it out to get ahead of Google or try to release on the same day as Google, based on what we've been seeing in today's tests. But I guess we'll have to see how things actually pan out over the next few weeks and months and see who actually comes out on top when everybody has time to figure things out.
It's also not going to be a moat too much, right? I just did another search, and we have exactly the right news from the hackathon that we have. I think Perplexity is also giving us a good answer as well. Yeah, all 4 of them are giving us a good answer about the hackathon, which is great. By the way, folks, if you're in San Francisco, join our hackathon in 2 days. Nistan, last words from you on this topic?
The ChatGPT one is pretty fast. Yeah, this is what made Bing good for so long, until they removed that from the UI, and now everyone else added it, thankfully. Yeah, I mean, this is the way to go. Like, you to add actual search data and actual code to the context to like get a good answer.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Junaid, last word on you from this, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, I also feel like, how many times have we been debuted LLMs can search now? I feel like this has happened several times. Maybe I'm just having...
This feels like a big one, though. This feels like a big one because, yeah you're right. GPT could do some retrieval before.
But yeah, it's good to see it actually getting here. Maybe now it'll actually read docs rather than just ignore them.
Yeah, hopefully. Folks, I did. Thank you, Junaid. Thank you, Nistan. Thank you, LDJ. Thank you, Yam. Thank you, folks who came up and Itamar before. Thank you, everybody who tuned in to multiple platforms to listen to this. This is our first try. Tell us what you think about this. Is the video format working for you or not? Would you prefer the YouTube one or the stream one or the space one or unified one? I don't even know. I just tried. I really wanted to show you Fester, and I think we'll end the stream with another trick or treat, and we'll go home.
Scientists, did you know that Doc Brown's time machine was actually powered by plutonium? It's a spooky fact for a spooky night. Have a frightfully fun Halloween.
All right, have a frightfully fun Halloween, everyone. Thank you for joining this special edition of ThursdAI. Hopefully this was entertaining. And go enjoy the search grounded GPTs everywhere. Go enjoy the real-time voice in the Mac desktop app as well. And all of these things are converging. Go enjoy selecting your models in Copilot and in Kodo and everywhere else. And I'll see you here next week, maybe in video form, maybe not. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. And go enjoy the rest. Oh, last thing is that Sam Altman and some team are doing right now an AMA on Reddit. Reddit. So if you want to follow up and go on Reddit and do this AMA with them, ask some questions. Sam Altman just posted about this. So I'll leave you to go and do the AMA on Reddit. And if you've missed any part of this, ThursdAI is coming to you live, but it's also is a newsletter and a podcast. And we have 5-star ratings on Apple and Spotify. And this is thanks to folks like you who are giving us this 5-star rating. So please subscribe if you missed any part of this. You will go and you'll be able to listen and for the first time see everything that we've talked about. All right, so I'm going to post this whole thing on YouTube. It's already on YouTube. But for now, cheers everyone. Thank you for joining ThursdAI and we'll see you in the next.
Bye bye everyone.